Okay, one thing I totally overlooked is that I actually have perfect boost nodes on this blaster as well. I think when we had that compensation, that major compensation, I think we got a lot of node stones because that would have been where I got the node stones to even get these boost nodes in the first place. Otherwise, I don't know where I got them from. But we have perfect boost nodes on this character already, and they're already at level 20, pretty much all of them. This is a small progression series for the blaster. This is gonna take maybe a couple weeks. The hardest part is going to be getting the Lotus clears to get all of the Absolab stuff. But honestly, Blaster's a really fucking strong class anyway. I really don't think it'll be a problem not having Absolab gear. You can also see we have a lot of skill nodes down here. Air to Shower will be very useful for grinding, I'm sure. Resistance Infantry probably as well. Literally, like, I have so many nodes on this character. I've used so many nodes on this character where the progression of this character is actually a lot further than I thought, but it's probably still worth making videos about. I don't have any totems, so I guess I'm gonna have to do Afterlands again, which is so fun, but that's just about it. Yeah, okay. Now we've covered everything on the blaster. So, last episode, or a couple episodes ago, I also mentioned looking at different characters to main in the future. I was thinking Kaiser at the time. Honestly, I'm kind of already off of Kaiser. It's this class that pops into my head all the time, like, oh my god, Kaiser is so cool, I have to play it. And then I play it for a while and I'm like, I am done with this. But then I started thinking about other characters. I tried Kinesis, very quickly was off Kinesis as well. This is something that happens a lot, where I get really excited about a class and then I go play it and I just find out I don't really have a good time playing it. Next up on the list though is Bishop, for a couple reasons. My Bishop in Reboot has a lot of gear already. Full 4-set superior, 3 gold totems, and that's kind of all that's worth mentioning. But Bishop is part of the holy trinity of classes, Mihail, Paladin, and then Bishop, in this game. I don't think there are any other holy classes in this game. But anyway, it's part of the holy trinity, and I now have a 250 Mihail and a 250 Paladin, so I kind of want a 250 Bishop. And I was looking at Bishop, and Bishop has a lot going on. There's always a lot to be doing on a Bishop, and I really kind of want to learn the class and see if I like it. So this is just to update you guys on the whole main search. This is the class I'm on right now, and I'm thinking if I stay on this class for a while, like after Ignition, when I'm done with the Blade Master, then I will probably try to get this character to 250. I originally was going to turn this character into a Fire Poison boss mule, but Fire Poison is exceedingly convoluted for no reason. That's why I stopped playing it in the first place, and I kind of forgot about that. I was just excited to have a strong boss mule. So that's probably not going to happen anymore. It'll probably just stay a Bishop. And if I like it enough, it could be a potential main. So there's your little main search update. So I am going to be taking a break from the game for a couple days just because I'm a little burnt out from grinding. So if you don't see anything in the next few days, clips wise, that is why. Also, I got the Cygnus drop. Plush Cygnus shelf. New day. I didn't really play much yesterday. Like I said, I just wanted to take a break, but there were a couple things that I did want to talk about. So, first of all, I forgot to mention the droplets that I got from farming on this character. I got 44 of them, and that will be extraordinarily helpful because that almost puts me at enough droplets to get a weapon, assuming I don't start doing hard Lotus or hard Lucid before I can clear normal Lucid. I think 24 times. I think it has to be 24 times. I don't remember if you get multiple droplets per clear. I think I'm done on this character. I mentioned, oh wait, no, before that, Threads of Fate. All right, let's talk about Threads of Fate a little bit, because I accidentally re-rolled my herbs. So I had to go work on other characters. I started working on Tengu. Tengu didn't have anything, so whatever. Then I did Izuna, and Izuna actually had the correct task to go get suspicious mineral pouches. And I thought about it, and honestly, it's probably not a bad idea to just have a character who has the mineral pouch task and a character who has the mysterious herb task. I'm still re-rolling Kurama, because I screwed up and re-rolled the herb task, like I said. But in the meantime, I'm collecting 100 suspicious herb pouches, suspicious mineral pouches per day, which is going to supremely help my future characters and this character, because I will be able to get all of the materials that I need to level up smithing and accessory crafting with ease. There might still be some things that are really hard to come by, but ores and stuff are no longer going to be an issue. So what I plan to do from now on is keep Izuna on the mineral task and Kurama on the herb task. That way, as I see fit, I can either go ask Kurama to go get me herbs, which will be probably what I do the bulk of the time because WAPs and EEPs are so important. And then whenever I feel like I need to get a lot of minerals, I will have Izuna go do stuff. So kind of a blessing in disguise to re-roll that herb task, because it resulted in me having an opportunity to unlock another important task that I had already been thinking about in my mind as, hey, maybe I should go get somebody who has the ore collecting task. So, silver lining, I guess. And until I re-roll Kurama's herbs, we're just going to be getting minerals, which is totally acceptable. All right, now I want to talk about one more thing. All right, so those of you who have been around my channel for a long time know I started out as a Mihail main. I was a Mihail main for a long time. In episode, I think 13, I talked about why I couldn't play Mihail at the time. It was some mental blockage, and now I'm kind of back to Mihail, and let me go into detail about this. So, looks like this Mihail only has 2 event rings? No, I know I have more. Yeah, I have the Vengeful ring that I still need to get some drop lines on, and my Greed Pendant is Mesos, which is not great. The drop gear is going to have to be cleaned up on this character for sure, but I mentioned, I think it was last episode, I don't know how these episodes are going to play out, because to be honest, I still at this point have not actually edited the Star Forcing session as of recording this. I really need to get around to doing that, but I have some dental work tomorrow, and I'm a little stressed about that, so Maple Story is kind of the least of my priorities right now. Once that's done, I can kind of get back to normalcy and editing, but none of that really matters. So, for me, in the Ignition update, the one thing that really kind of killed Mihail for me for a little while, and was something that I had to get over, was the change to their, like, whole gameplay loop outside of Royal Guard. So normally this is our bossing skill. This is how we attack bosses. We turn on Roiling Soul and start attacking things with it. I want to make it clear that this skill, you would never be using it unless you're using Roiling Soul. The only time that you would be using this without using Roiling Soul is if you forgot to toggle Roiling Soul on. Because you can still use it without Roiling Soul, it just causes you to have a lot less final damage. Like, yeah, 60 to 61%? This skill has no purpose outside of Roiling Soul and a bossing scenario. That is when you use it 100% of the time. Especially because it takes a quarter of a second to turn on Roiling Soul. If you see an E-boss, it really takes no effort at all to, or an E-mob E-boss takes no effort at all to just turn it on and boom, you're going. This is our mobbing skill. I guess I should turn up the opaqueness. This is our mobbing skill, Radiant Cross. It looks really cool. I like the way this skill looks. This skill has no use outside of a mobbing scenario, because you would only be using this without Roiling Soul. It hits, how many enemies does it hit? 7 plus 1 divided by 3. So this one will only hit, it hits by a third, so 8 divided by 3. Yeah, it would only hit 2 enemies. I don't think it hits 3 enemies. So you would pretty much never use this as a bossing tool, like ever. So right now we have this situation where Roiling Soul is kind of useless because it's only used for 4-point assault, which is our bossing skill, and Radiant Cross does not use it specifically because it lowers the number of mobs hit. Okay, so that's something to consider. Roiling Soul reduces the hits of most attacks, not all of them. What Nexon opted to do, and this is something that was really frustrating to me, and they did something like this on Wind Archer that I'll go over briefly. I think I probably already mentioned it. So you might remember that this little tiny rant if you've been watching the whole series. You know, to be fair, it is impactful. Roiling Soul is very impactful for things like Charging Light, Royal Guard, Sword of Light, Phalanx Charge, like even your bossing, even your burst skill, they're all heavily impacted by having Roiling Soul on. It gives 10% crit damage, but it doesn't really seem to... Oh, I see it. Yeah. Okay, it does give 10% crit damage, too. So what Nexon opted to do was remove... And I guess now, as I've thought about it more over the past 6 months, it's been easier and easier for me to understand why they made this decision, but I still feel like I personally would have gone a different direction. What they did was they removed 4-point assault and made Radiant Cross have 2 modes, where it now can mob without Roiling Cross or Roiling Soul, and when you turn Roiling Soul on, it turns into a bossing skill. Now, it makes sense why they did this. Personally, I probably would have just gone a different route to maintain the status quo of 2 separate skills, one for mobbing, one for bossing. That's a personal thing, I think. That's a personal decision I would have made, but when you take all of the information into account, it makes sense why they went the route they did, because Roiling Soul is kind of an important skill. Now, you could also make the argument that why not just make Roiling Soul a passive and remove the max enemy reduction? Why not just do that? Mihail's already kind of weak, but to be completely honest with you, I don't think Mihail needs any damage buffs, and we really shouldn't be upping damage on classes all the time, so that wouldn't necessarily be a great choice. So the point is that it was really difficult for me for a while to come to terms with the fact that this class is basically turning into a 1-button class. It's the same reason that I don't like Hero, and I keep comparing it I keep comparing Mihail to Hero in all the videos. Every time I talk about it, I'm like, I don't want to be Hero with Royal Guard. I don't want to be a different type of hero. I don't want to play Hero. I didn't choose Hero because I don't like the way Hero feels. I don't like the way it plays. And the truth of the matter is, first of all, Mihail is my favorite class in the game. It is the only class in this whole game that I have played and fallen in love with so strongly that I just want to always keep playing it and never really look at any other class because Mihail is just so fucking cool. It is literally the incarnation of what I enjoy in video games. It has support skills. Shield of Light is an insanely good support skill for survivability. Night's Watch, not Night's Watch, what is it? Where's that skill? It's a 5th job skill. Do I not have it on my grid? Oh, I don't even have it bound because, okay, so Light of Courage is an oh shit button that will give your party a huge shield, like a massive shield. There have been times where in Lucid, for example, because I've done Lucid on this character a few times, like I think I've only cleared it twice, but you can see, no, I think I cleared it 3 times. No, I've cleared it twice and I've gotten 3 droplets. So I was right, you do get multiple droplets per clear. Anyway, or you can. In Lucid, because it was a group of relatively weak, newer players, you know, we're not pros, we can't solo Lucid, there were times where people would get themselves in situations and it would be like, ah, fuck, I'm gonna die. I can literally, at that point, I could just press my Light of Courage button, because I did have it bound. I could just press my Light of Courage button and save them from almost anything. And if nothing else, I would give them enough time to get into a favorable position to survive whatever it is they're trying to survive. That is primarily why I enjoy playing support classes, because I like being able to save people when they make a mistake. I like playing the support role. But at the same time, and I can't say this for sure, I can only say this based on the experience I've had with Bishop, I don't know that I love being full support, where it's just all support and my damage is not really worth mentioning. Two things about that. First of all, I have never really enjoyed Bishop a ton, but I always love the theme of the class and the way it plays, being basically the best support in the game, save for Kana, who is stupid. So I've always liked that about Bishop. But I also really enjoy the dynamic that Mihail brings, where you're doing a considerable amount of damage, where you're contributing, but you also have so many support tools that it's absurd. One of the big changes in Ignition is that Royal Guard, well, it's actually a change to Soul Link, I believe. I believe it's a change to Soul Link / Royal Guard. When you have Soul Link enabled and you're in a party, every time you Royal Guard, you'll give every party member, I don't know if it's within range or just every party member on the map, you'll give every party member a 10% HP shield. And that alone is a huge improvement to Mihail's support capabilities. Mihail is already known as being a very defensive support, the kind of class that sort of falls off because eventually people get really good at bossing and you really don't need them. But there's always going to be a demand for these mitigation classes like Mihail because of new bosses being released. I'm thinking Kalos right now. People in GMS have not cleared Kalos, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% on that. People in KMS currently are still trying to clear Kalos. Munchie, my favorite streamer, I don't think he's cleared it yet, and he's extremely endgame. But imagine how much extra survivability people would have with a Mihail. And the way the game's designed, like I said, Mihail's defensive capabilities sort of fall off because people just get really good at the game eventually. But it doesn't change the fact that there will always be people who benefit from your support skills. You never know when somebody's going to have an accidental death in something, and then you save them because you had the 10% HP shield on them. You know, it's a situation that's come up when I play Paladin, where when I'm like duoing with Cynthia, I'll have Parashock Guard on, which gives party members a % chance to guard attacks, like any attack. And there have been times where I've completely saved her from dying just because I had that open? Just because I had that skill toggled on. It's not so much about being a great support, it's about having those support options. And at the same time, having the damage to back it up. And to be completely honest with you, I could play Bishop, Paladin, or Mihail. I do need to give Bishop a lot more time to really get used to it, because I played it to 217, and I don't understand it an ounce. I don't understand anything about it other than you use Big Bang to mob and you use Angel Ray to boss, and I'm level 217. So I need to learn that class before I really make a judgment on it. But right now, I would say that Mihail and Paladin are equal for me personally. The only benefit that Mihail has, in my opinion, is that Mihail is gender locked to male, which means I had to make a male one, which means that I can marry a female character instead of just playing all female characters, because Nexon is backwards and refuses to implement same-sex marriage in this game. So that's a tiny, tiny little benefit. Why do I have a Silver Blossom ring with Mesos on it? Oh, Jesus. This is cringe. This is omega cringe. Why is this a stat ring? I'm gonna have to do a lot to this character to really bring it up to snuff. But right now we can go either way. I can go Paladin or Mihail, because while Paladin doesn't have the level of support capabilities, they're still really fun class. I still really like it. Mihail is more support and a little less damage, but I just love both of them. I really do. Bishop is the class that I really need to start giving some time to. while I work on this blaster. It's basically going to be blaster bishop period for a while until ignition when I start working on my dual blade, which will be a whole other thing. That's going to be fun. But I just wanted to talk about Paladin, or mostly Mihail. I guess I was talking about Mihail most of the time. I just wanted to talk about Mihail a little bit because it is... I don't have Celis unlocked. It is a super fun class. It's the class that really made me like buckle down and get really good at this game. God, this character is weak. Am I in the right Legion? I'm not. Let's do this. I don't know if that'll help. I need probably links as well. But when I found this class in the Awake patch, it might have been Neo. I don't remember. If you go look at my Mihail progression series, which was my first one, it'll be very obvious which patch it was where I started playing Mihail, because I was playing Cannon Master, and Cannon Master just... I love the class, but I really couldn't get into it the same way. But once they changed Royal Guard to be client side, I was like, all right, let's give this class a shot. So it was this class that really made me sort of fall in love with the game again and really start to get good at it. Because prior to this, I was just like, I'm just still looking for my class. I don't know what to play. I tried out a bunch of stuff and nothing really clicked. So Mihail is always going to be very special to me. And I worked hard mentally getting past all of the changes about it, all the big changes in Ignition that were going to affect my favorite class. It was really hard to get past all those things for a while. It was literally, I was in the shower one day and I thought about Mihail randomly and I was like, oh shit, I can play Mihail. I can still play it. Because I guess for a long time I had it in my mind that I'm not allowed to play this class anymore because it's like hero. So it was kind of just an aha moment where I really moved past the one button thing, and now I'm cool with it. So sorry for the long ramble. I probably won't be doing much in Maple today. I want to do some other things. Like I said, I'm kind of stressed out about the appointment coming up tomorrow, which is really not a big deal. It's really not. It's just I've had bad experiences with dentists before, and it's scary to me. But it'll be fine. Not a big deal. I just wanted to share all this information with you guys because that's what the progression series is, believe it or not. It's a very odd progression series, I'll give you that. It kind of jumps around from character to character, but ultimately it is it represents my thought process, I think. So it's a very me type of series. Also, I realize I probably should have been just mobbing passively while talking this whole time. That probably would have been more engaging. Are you guys ready for the new changes to totems? Oh man. I was thinking about making a video about the totem change. I might talk about it a little bit. Anyway, I've been rambling a lot. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do today, but it's probably not gonna be a lot of Maple Story stuff. You'll probably see a clip of me claiming all of my arcane symbols on my blaster, and then you'll hear that iconic Animal Crossing close the door sound effect again. So I guess I'll see you guys then. Ooh, that was a good one. That was a high 45-second chicken run. I had some dental work done, and my jaw is a little sore today. So if I sound off in this video compared to normal, or if I'm speaking kind of weird, that's why. I hope it doesn't affect the recording too much. If it does, and I think it's kind of unwatchable, then I'll just scrap this so you won't see it. So clearly we've gotten the Paladin to 249. I've already discussed all of that, and I've discussed the next step in the process, which is playing the blaster. As you've seen in the past couple clips, I've been doing dailies on the blaster to prepare it to actually grind and get it to level 10 symbols. I also decided to go back to the Hayato and finish getting level 10 symbols on that. because it always felt kind of bad that I just stopped the Morass and I think Esfera. I think I stopped. There are 2 symbols I have, I think, that aren't level 10. I always kind of felt bad about that. So I'm going back and I'm rectifying that situation. So the Blaster is coming up next. We'll have plenty of time to talk about the Blaster and future plans with that character. I wanted to briefly cover the dual blade and kind of, I think I've already talked about what the dual blade plans are for Ignition, but for those of you who don't know, dual blade is going to be what I hyper burn in Ignition. Me and Cynthia are both hyper burning dual blades for an easy level 250 boss mule, admittedly. That's why I chose to do it, and she decided that she wanted to join me. At least I think that's what happened. I don't remember. Anyway, I don't think I recorded any of it because I was kind of distracted. I recently got this character to 199, and the reason for getting to 199 instead of 200, so the reason for this is basically hyper burning at a specific level, 199, 202, 205, 208, 211, etc. in order to be at level 247, so you only have to grind that last level. So like if I were to grind to 200 on this character and then hyper burn at 200, every level I get after that would be tripled. So it basically saves me a level. If I were to hyper burn at 200, or 201, which would probably be worst case scenario, is I would have to get a level at 248. And then if I were to do it at 201, I would have to level at 249. So to summarize all of this, the reason the Blade Master is level 199 is so that I can go directly from 247 to 250, giving me the theoretical fastest route to 250 that you can possibly get hyper burning. All right, that clear? Everybody get that? Makes sense? I hope it does. If not, feel free to ask and comment about it in the description. In the comments section would be the place to ask that. So I just wanted to cover that really quickly. Blade Master, always very fun to play. There was a KMS YouTuber who doesn't play anymore, who I used to watch, and I probably already mentioned him, Shinheijo. He played dual blade, and it was super fun to watch him play. Not only was he good at making videos, but he was also a very good dual blade, and it was fun to watch him boss and stuff. Aside from that, I've been thinking about a few other things. I did the math. I don't know if I ever mentioned this. Believe it or not, when you have like dozens of hours of a progression series, it starts to become hard to track what you have and haven't talked about. So if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But I was thinking about if I were to get all of my 150s to 200 right now, that would put me about at 8,700 Legion. So I was thinking at some point, probably during the period of time where I'm working on my blaster and before Ignition, when I start working on my dual blade, during that period of time, I kind of want to work on a few of my Legion mules and maybe work towards getting 8,500 Legion. Because, I mean, the more Legion, the better. And there's really no reason to not do it. So there you go. Also, the other reason why it's a good time to do it now is because of the Night Troop event. I need to unlock the Inferno Wolf one so that I can get bonus EXP in there. But I have 25% bonus EXP on normal monsters, 100% extra rune EXP, 2 times EXP in Polo and Fritto, and pretty soon 2 times EXP inside Inferno Wolf. I also want to make sure I get normal monster damage as well. And then once I have all of that, grinding Legion mules is going to be super easy. It's going to be so much easier to get to 200. So that's kind of the plan for now. And just a reminder for those of you wondering why I stopped at 249, Magnificent Growth Potion. This will be the way I get this Paladin to 250. Don't worry about that. What else is there to talk about? Is Azuna done yet? No, she needs 5 more minutes. So I think that really kind of covers everything. I want to go ahead and correct myself based on a comment that I received recently. Let me see. Tyrannel, I hope I'm saying that right, left a comment discussing, in episode 22, left a comment talking about how Paladin actually does have a lot of support capabilities, and this is something I kind of wanted to talk about. So in this game, unless I'm totally forgetting a class, there are 3 holy archetype classes in this game, and I love all 3 of them. 2 of them are warriors, weirdly enough. But those are my 3 favorite classes in the game, hands down. It's not even worth discussing whether other classes are my favorite. That would be Paladin, Mihail, and Bishop. And they all have strong support capabilities. It's just they do it in different ways. And I think last episode, it must have been last episode, or actually, no, it wouldn't be, because this would, in episode 22, I was talking about how I don't feel that Paladin is really that much of a support class, but the reality is that I'm just wrong about that. My analysis of the class was just wrong. Believe it or not, even though I am a YouTuber, I can get things wrong. One of the many ways, or it's hard because Paladin does have strong support capabilities, but they're kind of mitigated in GMS specifically because of familiars. So one of the big ways that Paladin supports the party is with Noble Demand. This skill is a 50% IED debuff that you can apply to monsters, and everyone in the party benefits from that 50% IED debuff. The problem is, if we have people running around with 97% IED, a 50% IED source when you have 97% IED would theoretically, or not theoretically, it would effectively put you at 98.5% IED. And that difference is not really that big. I think it would be a couple % of final damage. So it's not horrible. It's just not that strong. And I mentioned this in my reply to the comment that the reason that I have a hard time viewing Paladin as a supportive class is because the way Paladin supports the party is by giving them better damage. And the problem is, of course, like I said, it's really easy to get IED in GMS. Though I don't think I have any superior gear on this character, but you know, there's just so many sources of IED in GMS specifically between familiars and Gallic set that it's a lot less impactful than it could be. Now, the other thing is combat orders. Combat orders is a really, really good skill. So if I have combat orders on, for example, let's just look at Divine Mark. Wait, would that mean that only Divine Mark is affected by this? Hold on, wait, is this a party skill? Hold on, is Divine Blessing a party skill? Wait a minute, hold on. All right, unfortunately, it is not a party buff. I just tested it. Looks like it's just a single person buff. So anyway, if we look at Divine Mark, for example, I guess this is a bad example because Divine Mark is not really like your main mobbing skill or anything. Blast, let's do Blast. Okay, so Blast is our main bossing skill, and it has 291% damage at level 32. If I remove combat orders, that goes down to 285. So it's not a big improvement, but you know, obviously more damage on everyone's main attacks is going to, like, over time have a small impact on their overall damage, right? So the ways in which Paladin supports are not easy to observe because the difference between having a Paladin and not having a Paladin are not that big of a deal. There's like almost no situation where having a Paladin is going to get you through a boss, whereas not having a Paladin would result in you failing the boss. Like, a Paladin is not going to be the difference maker in a lot of situations. Paladin's biggest support that I can observe is their ability to make somebody invincible for up to 30 seconds, as well as their revive that also acts as a 10-second iframe, which is pretty cool and could be used in a situation where you just need an iframe to maximize your burst or something. I wouldn't say that generally speaking, me and Cynthia talked about this, and I wouldn't say that generally speaking it's worth taking a death just for an iframe, because that's the whole point of an iframe, is to not take a death. So it's a weird skill, and I wish they would just make it function like Heaven's Door. But what we have now is effectively, if you're a class where you can't afford to get interrupted during your burst, and you're already good at clearing the boss, then it might be worth taking a death to get that 10-second iframe. Because a 10-second iframe is really, really good for a lot of classes, by the way. I know that my perception of iframes is kind of skewed, because I have an iframe that allows me to be invincible for up to 30 seconds. So a 10-second iframe to me is like, well, that's only a third of what I normally get. But for a lot of classes, 10 seconds of invincibility is huge. So there are situations, plenty of them, I'm sure, where a paladin, if played right in a duo situation, can have a big impact on a party's damage, which I guess would be just the duo's damage. And since I usually duo on this character, it makes a lot of sense. So I kind of wanted to rectify that and correct myself. It's also worth noting that Parashock Guard is huge. There have been situations, if I recall correctly, where Parashock Guard has saved my duo partner from dying, because it gives them a 20% chance to guard any attack. Any attack. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, I've guarded things like Arcarian's Screen Crack. I've guarded the lasers, the you know, when the lasers collide in Papulatus. I've guarded that passively. I mean, you name it, I've probably guarded it, and I've probably done the same for a party member. So I don't want to give the impression that a paladin's support capabilities are not present or impactful. I think they're clearly present. There's no debating that. I think there is a debate about how impactful they really are. I think in a duo scenario, if you're looking to be one of the best supports that you could be for your duo partner, while also dealing good damage, Paladin is going to be a super strong choice. Just because of the fact that you have skills like Divine Echo, which are specifically targeting one party member. Guardian specifically revives one person. You know, it's a lot of their skills, or I guess a couple of their skills, the two I just listed, are catered specifically to having a duo partner. So don't get the wrong impression about what I said about Paladin. I was just kind of, honestly, I was unaware of how good of a support they were. And I kind of knew this going into it, but I just forgot at some point. Anyway, yeah, so don't get the wrong impression of Paladin based on what I said. If you have a dedicated duo partner, Paladin is going to be a very, very, very strong choice. Very strong choice. Well, the more I think about it, the more I actually want to just take damage against normal monsters first, because getting good damage on small or weaker characters is pretty hard, and it's kind of one of the most restrictive things about leveling a character to 200 in Reboot. So I'm gonna go for the monster damage first, and then I'll get Infernal Wolf EXP. And that's the max level, so I need 800 more coins, which I will definitely get. Yeah! All right, I threw some trash cubes at the shoes and we got them up to unique. That's pretty good. I guess I'll go buy some more in the general store and just try to get to Lion Strength. I'm not gonna spend too much money on that right now because it's not a priority. I guess I'll just go for 1 line strength and see if I can get a good roll. Okay, first rolls 10% strength. I'm gonna go ahead and just, let's just see if we get lucky. I'm not gonna spend too much on this. If I get another 10% strength roll, I'll just keep it. All right, we'll just roll with that for now.
Keep 'em coming.
Okay, level 200 Bowmaster. Why did that take so long? All right, after this, I am at 15.2k with 30% more boss and a little more IED. So that's good. I wonder if I could just burst him down from full. It might be a little bit of a tall order. Shit. Come on. Oh my god, that was so much easier. 0 deaths. So I went from failing him and dying 15 times to clearing him in 1 burst. You ever think Golik's gear might be a little overpowered? Hey guys, so I was on my Nightwalker today doing my normal weekly bosses, and I actually did quite a bit to make this character a lot stronger. I was getting frustrated because Hard Magnus was kind of kicking my ass, but I changed a few things. So, first of all, I increased my stat from 13.3k up to 15.2. This alone was a huge increase in damage. I also got a lot of extra attack from this Superior Golik's Pendant. I was lacking a lot of IED and boss damage, as well as just having kind of low stat in general. So I pretty much decided that Superior Golik's would be the best upgrade I could get right now. I had 3 or 4 billion mesos to spend. And these are the items that I bought. I got the Superior Golik's Belt, 3-line Luck, and 16 Luck Flame. Not a great flame, but I don't think I can use regular flames on it. I think somebody used a real flame on it, so regular rebirth flames are no longer applicable. Oh, no, they're not. Yeah. Okay, well, I thought maybe they were. They're not. So yeah, I can't do that. I also purchased these earrings, 2-line Luck, 16 Luck Flame. Not bad. I do want to go back over all of these eventually and regular Golik's or advanced Golik's scroll them, because right now they're just scrolled for luck. So I'm not going to Star Force them anymore, because eventually I'm just going to Innocence scroll them and then do the whole Golik's scroll thing. So for this pendant, I actually did use Golik's scrolls. I bought all 7 that I could buy this week on my Mihail, and was able to pass 6 of them. The last scroll that I used was a luck scroll. I figured I don't need to be extremely optimal on this character and use all 8 slots and fill all 8 slots with Golik scrolls. So 6 out of 8 is fine for me personally. The ring, same thing. You need to go do this at some point. It's all just luck scrolled right now. This is the Hilla's Rage that I have. It's fine. It could probably stand to be scrolled with something, but 25 attack power on a ring is good. I also purchased this, which is 9% extra luck. It was mostly just an increase in luck, just because I really needed to fill this last slot. And those are most of the upgrades that I got today. They brought me up quite a bit. For a comparison, 13.3k stat Nightwalker was barely clearing Hard Magnus. I would usually die out. If I was unable to clear it, I would just die out before. It was actually really annoying because I would constantly die out at single-digit percents. But 15.2k stat Nightwalker can almost 1 burst him. It's also worth noting that I did use 80 node stones and got rapid throw up 3 levels. So I want to finish maxing Shadow Spear at some point, because Shadow Spear is very important damage as well. But I'm mostly focused on my burst right now. because burst is so important in a boss mule. Shadow Spear is a very good bossing skill, but it's also just a really good mobbing skill as well, so it's not quite as big of a priority for me as Rapid Throw is currently. Getting Rapid Throw to max level is very, very important to me. I also went ahead and got an Air to Nova node because fuck Shadow Stitch. That skill is so hard to use properly. So that's just a quick update on the Nightwalker. This is pretty much the only boss mule I'm working on right now in Bara. The other ones will come in time, but we're very easily bringing in 200 mil a week on this character. The plan is, of course, to get it to the same level as my Mihail, and even actually further than my Mihail is currently. I want to be able to get all of my characters clearing Chaos Slime not Chaos Slime. No, not Chaos Slime. Normal Slime every week. That's kind of what I'm shooting for. Whether I'll reach that or not, I'm not sure.
You can't dodge this.
Alright. Well, that's level 200. Another one done.
Because I am very much lactose tolerant.
Yeah, that's true. It's impressive how much tolerance you have with lactose. Because even I can't drink that much milk. Oh, tear up! Let's go. That's
Nice.
been put in the video.
You're too tolerant to lactose.
Ooh, that's a weird potential. But I guess
is
we'll roll
weird.
with that. That's good to get from trash cubes. There it is, 2-line strength. Ah, there's 3-line dex. There's more. I just got 9% dex and then 9% dex. There it is. 9% strength. Okay. I'm noticing though that's happening a lot. Okay, there it is. 9% strength. Oh my god, finally. Oh my god, thank you. Alright. 11,142. Up from about 9,800. That's a pretty good increase. I'm back at it again, leveling another Legion Mule. This time it's gonna be Demon Slayer. I don't know what my goal is for this event. I could probably reach 8.5k, which I would love to reach, but I'm not really counting on it. For now, I'm just gonna keep going and see how long I can actually keep grinding Legion. There's not a whole lot going on with the blaster quite yet, other than what I just did, getting to 11.1k stat, which is really good. Aside from that, there's not a whole lot to really do other than Legion right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because I really want to do it anyway. So for now, it's Demon Slayer time. I'll see you guys when I'm level 200. I don't want to do Magnus. I really don't want to do Magnus. Let's do Magnus. It might be really hard. I don't know that I can clear it for sure. Yeah, back in my day, we used to get hard Magnus carries because it was so hard. Now, people could just fucking clear it. I mean, I probably could have cleared it back then too, I just wasn't willing to try. Oh yeah, bobbing and weaving give you fucking... They give you super stance. Damn it. I think I just don't have the skill to survive. Damn it. I should have just weaved or bobbed forward. That was stupid. Oops. No! I don't know what happened there. I tried to jump forward. I think my damage might just carry me through the end of this boss.
Yep. Absolutely. Why did I do that? I really do need to get more comfortable with just playing this character, because it's clearly a struggle. Nah, that sucked. I used my cool iframe into the cool thing. Oh, what? Lingering hitbox! The gas pipes have a lingering hitbox. I forget about that. You can't use bobbing and weaving when you're slowed. Oh my god. Dude, this boss is just not fun. Like, literally every time me or Cynthia attempt it, we just get frustrated. Yeah, hard Magnus, like, literally every single time. Oh, hitbox. Well, there was a time when Hard Magnus was the hardest boss in the game. Correct. Joe! I'm good. Well, damage carried me through that, clearly. Oh, well, maybe not. Maybe not quite yet, but almost. Well, that was dumb of me to do that. So I found out that Blaster has a teleport behind you skill. Yep. No. They might have two then if the bind actually functions like that. Jesus. I used all of the buff freezers I bought. Ugh. I don't know if I even want to bother trying to get good at that fight. It's just I just need to be able to burst it down. This boss is the least of my concerns. And the fact that I could probably do Chaos Papulatus right now. But I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna do CRA. Oh, that was big damage. I didn't expect her to do that much. She did the thing. Oh, I see what's happening. She's locking my skills, and that's fucking up my bobbing and weaving. That was really easy. Oops, wrong button. Okay. God damn, this character is strong. There's a noticeable difference in power level between this character and another character that would be like at 11.4k stat. God, this is... I knew there was like a high skill ceiling involved with this. I'm already experiencing it. Just moving a little bit out of the way to avoid his attacks. Ah! I shouldn't have done that. I should have just bobbed. Alright, so I think sometimes I need to just bob and weave without trying to attack to reposition myself. Why? Just get binded, idiot. Oh, yeah. Reaction time is super important. You have to be able to read the boss very well, I think. Wait, where's the puddle? Oh, never mind. Ah, I can't wait till we get the bind timer. I have 2 binds on this character now. Ready for this? Yeah, what an idiot. Oh yeah, this class is just as fun as I thought it would be.
After a lot of time and effort and very unfun grinding, I got another level 200. This time it is my Ho Young. I gotta say, I do not like Ho Young. I don't like watching the gauge. I don't like these random duration buffs that are all different. It's such a pain to grind on, so I'm glad I'm done with it. Now that puts me at 8,300 Legion. I'm gonna go for 8,500 probably before this event ends, and we'll go from there. So I'm at 8,353 Legion. I'm trying to get to 8,500, but I just found out yesterday, I think, that the event for Night Troop ends later today. So I only have 1 day to get 150 Legion levels. So instead of getting all these characters to 200 like I planned, I'm just going to get 5 characters to 180, and that should serve the exact same purpose as getting 3 characters to 200. It's the equivalent of 150 levels, and that's all I need for 8.5k. Once I reach that, I will take another break from Legion, and it will be time to focus more on the blaster. But I've realized that there's really not a whole lot to do on my blaster. I kind of just have to wait around and grind to 235 eventually. The goal for today is to get the 5 remaining Legion mules up to 180 so that I get enough Legion levels to reach 8.5k, and then, well, then that's Legion for now. I will definitely come back in the future and get to 9k, because I'm just never satisfied with my Legion level. But until then, there's a lot more important stuff to take care of. I wasn't originally planning on focusing on Legion during this period of time, but when I realized how easy it was to level pre-200 characters with this Night Troop stuff, I decided to just take the opportunity to gain 500 more levels, because it's very easy. I've been able to knock out about 1.5 characters from 150 to 200 every day, which is very good time for Reboot. So that's what I'm going to be working on for now, and I will see you guys back when there's more blaster progression.